Hi everyone, it's Janelle from Hustling Hotties and the host of the Big Dreamers series. I'm here with Kim Harris today and I'm so excited to share her story with you guys. Hi Kim, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you for being here with me. Kim, can you tell everybody about your business?
Well, I am what is considered a financial capability expert, and I focus on helping individuals get unstuck from their money habits and also creating a strategy and plan for building wealth. And I do that through my signature program called the Silk Stocking Method. And it is a program that outlines 5 pillars of wealth creation. And we start where you are, wherever you are in your process, wherever you are in your finances. So it doesn't really matter if you have something saved or not. The whole idea is to change your mindset, how your money works for you.
Oh, that sounds great. So, how did you get started in that business?
Oh gosh, I've been in the financial sector for about 25 years. I started working for one of the largest consulting firms in the world in international tax. And from there, it was like my foundation for learning about how money worked, how the tax laws were created to protect your money. And it's really, the tax laws are for everyone. It's not just for the wealthy. The wealthy are doing what we all should be doing, is taking advantage of those tax laws. But the problem in the disparity is in the access to information. The access to information really keeps a lot of people from taking advantage of those tax laws, so they end up paying more than they have to because they simply don't know. And you don't know what you don't know unless you take initiative to find out what it is you need to know to protect your money so that you can grow it and it can work for you in the future. So I started in that industry, kind of ventured off into my own consulting business. It evolved and kind of, rebranded itself into helping individuals, what I call create legacies for their families, whether it be through a nonprofit, through building a nonprofit or through wealth creation. So I've just melded all of that information over the years and just here I am.
So, what strategies have you used to make this business a success? Because you'd have to do something different.
Well, it was all a learning curve. I mean, really. And here's the thing. This is something that's really important to know about being an entrepreneur. You're never going to learn it all. It's never going to be a straight path. It is always going to be evolving. And instead of creating a plan that says, okay, I'm going to be here, 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 and here, say, okay, I'm going to pencil this in because something might happen or life happens and it's unexpected. And what I call, black swan events. Family members might get sick, or you might lose a job, or anything could happen and derail your progress in terms of building a business. One of the things that I learned over the years is that you have to be flexible. You have to go with the flow and allow whatever lessons come through that derailment to educate and empower you to do things differently, to expand you, to open you up to new ideas, because those new ideas are oftentimes the thing that's going to propel you to that next level. I feel like in my own business, I started out in like I said, working in corporate, okay, in the financial sector, left corporate, decided to go into the nonprofit sector. Had no experience in nonprofit work whatsoever, but I had a passion for serving other people. And I especially had a passion for serving women who were survivors of domestic violence. And so I started volunteering at various shelters and doing things, involving myself in the community at that level. And then I started my own nonprofit. Well, the problem with that was, and this is what I didn't know when I started it, there's like 1,000 nonprofit organizations in the county that I live in that do the same thing. So I had to figure out what was it about my services that was different. Where was the gap in the service? Where is that gap that you can feel that nobody else is feeling? And that's the thing that you need to focus on. Not so much of, well, this is my competition and they're doing the same thing that I'm doing and I got to be better at the same thing. That's the wrong strategy because you'll lose every time. What you need to focus on is, okay, what is it that they are not doing? What is it that they don't compete with me in? When you figure that out, that's your gold mine. That's where you will be the most successful.
I love that. That's perfect. I had a question for you of what is a nugget that you could share with an entrepreneur, but I think you just gave that to us. That's perfect. So my next question then is, what is an outrageous goal that you set for yourself and you've accomplished?
Whoa. Okay, outrageous. All my goals are outrageous.
Okay.
The thing about creating goals is this. It's more than just something that you want to do. It has to be. Because if it isn't, you're not going to be motivated to accomplish it. Every goal that I have set for myself was one that I put a purpose behind. And because there was a purpose behind it, I made sure I accomplished it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if there was nothing there for me to be motivated about that goal, it's just going to be on a sheet of paper, you know, a checklist that I never check off, right? So I have always set goals that were purposeful for me. And that's the thing that motivates me. Now, to say which one was outrageous, and I can't even tell you because they're all outrageous. Every goal I've ever set has been outrageous. I think the biggest one was, wow, what's the biggest one? That's a good one. Let me come back and put a pin in that one, and
Okay.
I'll come back on that.
We'll come back. We'll circle around.
They're on that.
So then my next question is, what's a big goal that you have right now that you haven't accomplished yet?
Wow. Okay. That one, I can't share, to be honest with you.
Top secret.
It is right now. But as you know, I received a license to host a TEDx event.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big accomplishment because I got rejected the first time, right? A few years ago, I applied and got rejected. And I decided, you know, I want to do this. I really want to open up a platform that's a global platform that women who have something powerful to say can stand on it and let their voice be heard. And so I reapplied and I got it. So now I'm in the process of planning this, but there are some big, lofty goals with this. And I can't share it right now, but I promise you, everyone who's following or keeping in touch with what's going on with me, they will know in due time. But it is very big and very lofty.
I'm excited. We gotta watch Kim and see what she's doing. I love it. I love it. So who would you say has got you to this point? So and congratulations on TEDx, because I know that's huge. That's phenomenal. So with all that you've done, and at this point in your life, you've gone through corporate, nonprofit, now you're an entrepreneur, who has helped you the most to get to this point?
Wow. I would say there's an army of people that really supported me through the journey because, again, life happens. It was not a straight line. And there were times when things were going well, and then there was a time when things were not going well. But regardless, I kept going because of the people that I surrounded myself with, which is a very good point that I want to hone in on. It is important to know who your true circle of influence is, and when I say circle, I'm talking about people that are ride or die. Okay, let's be real on that one. People that are there for you when you have, when you don't have, people that are there for you when you sound crazy and you know you're not, people that are there to support you when your money is gone, and they're there to help pick up the pieces. Know who's around you, because that is going to be very key in your motivation to continue to move forward and through your journey to get to the place you want to see yourself in your business. I could have easily dropped, out of the picture, and felt like it many times over these past 20 plus years, 25 years or whatever it's been. And I mean, there were moments where I just knew that if I have to go to the coffee shop to work, I've got to do it, because I've got to make a presence. I've got to be out there. I've got to brand. And here's the thing. You cannot be ashamed of your journey. You've got to own it. You've got to know it. You've got to become intimate with it. It is not perfect. And we've got to stop striving for perfection, because it does not exist. And one of the things that that I have learned is that when I was broke, and believe me, this was a hard time for me, that humility kept me lit, because I knew that if I could get through this, I could get through anything. And with the help of my family, my son, my mother, my father, just being there to support me morally, that was more than enough to keep me lit and keep me going.
And that's why I asked the question, because I know a lot of people, they do not like to ask for help. They don't want to humble themselves. They have their pride. But we can't get anywhere without our tribe. We really
That's
cannot.
exactly
And you
right.
don't know who knows somebody else that's going to be able to help you to get to that next level.
That's it. The lone wolf syndrome, that's a term that my friend Joey Garrity, she says that a lot. And she says that you will never survive as a lone wolf. You've got to run with the pack. And so I had to get over that lone wolf syndrome. I had to find a way to connect, because I considered myself an introvert. And so I was very much okay with being by myself in my own little world. But I found in business that does not work very well, because you can't, what I mean? You can't buy your own products and pay yourself too. Okay. So it's like, this is not working for me. I've got to figure out how to get over this, what I consider characteristic, and find a way to become more extrovert so that I could build a business, build an empire. And fortunately, I had people who were extroverts that helped me in that process. And so your personality type has nothing to do with the level of success that you achieve. It really has to do with the people that you have in your circle that are going to support you in your endeavors. And that could be family, friends, colleagues, whatever.
Exactly. No, you're 100% correct. My next question for you is, what if you could tell your 15-year-old self anything? Thinking back to 15-year-old you, what would you tell her? Because I know at 15, I was going through some stuff. Ooh, so.
Okay, we both were. Wow. 15, that was not a good time for me.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, you're going through all the changes in your hormonal system and your emotional, and my home life was tumultuous. 15 was not a good, but if I could go back now and tell that 15-year-old girl something, is that it's okay to love who you are the way you are. That's the thing that I did not do. I did not love myself enough. And had I loved myself enough, I'd probably be a lot further along than I am today. So I would go back to her and definitely tell her it's okay to love yourself for who you are, because she felt alone. She felt just isolated from the world because of the things that she had gone through. And so, yeah, that wasn't a good time for me at 15.
I don't think, and that's why I asked the question again, because I don't think it's a good time for anybody at 15 years old, at least for any woman at 15.
Yeah, that's a tough time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a tough time.
Yeah. What is your life-changing book, Kim? Everybody has that one book that you have to read. It's like it changes your life. What's yours?
Oh, Iyanla Vanzant, Value in the Valley.
Really?
That book changed everything about my perception of my experiences. And she really, I mean, her personal journey is so parallel to mine that it was as if she was me writing that book. You
Mm.
see, so there was such a connection to that book that it just today is still on my bookshelf because
Yeah.
I've had it. Well, let me see. It's been 24 years now
Wow.
that I had that book. Yeah, it was given to me by a friend, and that is the book that really profoundly changed my perception about my experiences.
Well, we'll add that to our must-read list,
Yeah,
definitely. I know, Ayana, a lot of people love her work. I remember in the 90s reading her books,
yeah,
and I remember
yeah,
she was getting big back then, and yeah, in
yeah.
her journals and everything. So I think she helped a lot of women.
She's helped a lot of people, because I think she gets down to the soul of the emotion, beyond the ego, and that's where most people are afraid to go. They're afraid to take off the ego and to be exposed and vulnerable in that way, which is what causes a lot of the problems, I think. Um, you've got to be exposed and vulnerable to yourself first, and then the world will accept you for who you are, not for who you think you should be for them. You see, so I think Yana, her gift, it is her gift to heal the
Hmm.
soul. That's her gift, and I mean, she has executed it beautifully, but her journey wasn't always a straight road either. You understand? She has some valleys and some, things that she had to go through to get to where she is today. People look at her as, you know, the star that she is today and think there was always shining, and it wasn't. And none of us have that kind of life. None of it is all shiny. Um, walk a mile in my shoes, and I guarantee you're gonna take them off because your feet gonna hurt. Okay. And so, yeah, we can't judge what we don't know. We can't
Yeah,
judge what. Yeah.
yeah, I agree. So, what is your favorite quote?
Oh, favorite quote of all time: "Success follows service," by Charles F. Hannell in his book, The Master Key System. The Master Key System is one of, and I keep it at my bedside because I often pick it up just to reread it over and over again. It's like I mean, I've got it written, it's marked up more than my Bible, really.
Mm.
Um, it is, because it has so many profound truths in there to me that have resonated. And when I read "Success Follows Service," I knew that I was on the right track, because my intention for doing what I do, and always have been for what I do, is to serve. Is to serve. I never really much worried about the money piece of it. I always felt that the money piece of it was going to come.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that some people are so focused on the money that they can make, they miss the journey of service. They miss what that reward looks like. They miss the experience of helping someone else overcome their challenges and problems, because they're so focused on the money. Well, if I sell this many programs, or if I create this one, or if I do this, if I do that, then I'll make this much money. I mean, they've got formulas coming out the woo woo. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? This is how you can make $10,000 in a week, right? But there's an element missing. The element is the soul piece of it, the service piece of it. And that you cannot put a dollar amount on. You can't put a value on how much you change someone's life. You cannot equate that to a dollar amount. And when you get, I think when the priorities would switch around, that people will find that the work that they do is more fulfilling and purposeful and more impactful. That's just
I
my
love that.
opinion.
I love it. I love it. So, Kim, I really appreciate you taking the time out to even talk to me today. I'm humbled. Everybody's been so kind. Kim, how can everybody get to know you, participate in your movement, your website, your social media? Share with us, please.
Okay, well, on Instagram, of course, I am at Kim underscore the legacy creator. I am trying to build my following there, but my website is Kim Harris dot lifebusinesslegacy.com or just lifebusinesslegacy.com. I'm on Facebook. You can just look me up, Kim Harris, follow me, like me. I'm not a big Facebook person, but I go on there frequently and post things. But if you wanted to schedule a free consult with me to get on track with building your own personal wealth legacy, you could do that by going to kimharris.youcanbook.me. youcanbook.me. So you can schedule, and of course that's on my website too. You just click the icon, it says book me, and then you can, schedule a free consult with me there as well. So that's
Perfect.
it.
Perfect, perfect. And Kim has given you guys a great gift. You just scroll down to the page, click the link, and sign up to get her free gift from you guys. That way you'll be able to keep in touch with her on her mailing list. Kim, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.
I will, and you too.
Thank you.
All right.